We're here at Upright Press, independent screen printing shop in Columbus on the south side, preparing for our 5th year of Prints and Pints.
Prints and Pints is a screen print poster fest. It's a collaboration between the Daily Growler and Upright Press. And then we bring in 12 breweries and 12 local artists to create unique posters.
So the artists treat this project kind of like a gig poster where they have an idea for a beer that the brewery makes, and they work with the brewery on what that imagery will turn into. And I think it's worked out really well that the breweries have given a lot of artistic license to the artists, and that's why these posters have been so amazing. The posters are limited edition. There's only 30, and they're numbered by the artist, 1 of 30, 2 of 30, so on and so forth, and that's it. So I think that's contributed a lot to the excitement about the event.
Which is just a one-day event every year, so only available in person, no like online sales, and it's just a really special event for us and for the community and the artists and the breweries.
Once they had agreed to it, then I let the artists choose which brewery they wanted to work with.
My name's Dustin Brinkman, and I'm working with Seventh Son Brewery, for Prints and Pints. I have a really kind of soft spot in my heart for Seventh Son because when I first moved here, I didn't know where anything was, and I was kind of a bit overwhelmed by like one-way streets coming from a really small town. So I lived down the street from Seventh Son but had no idea it was there, and I stumbled upon it, and I would just go there every night after that. Loved their atmosphere that they kind of cultivate there, and the drinks and cocktails are always absolutely amazing. But yeah, I think I just really wanted to kind of, in some ways, like give back to them. Like by working with them, I wanted to kind of participate in that way because I had such a warm experience there from the get-go. Talking with the brewery, it's not just Seventh Son, they have the 2 other breweries, the Getaway, and then they have Antiques on High. And so I try to take little components from each sort of location, taking the airplane from the Getaway because it has this sort of like plane and travel theme to it, taking the Seventh Son Cat, which is Horatio, also known as the assistant manager, the Antiques on High van, and all those sort of different things. Really wanted to try and culminate all those different things into one poster that still centers around like that specific brewery, which is Seventh Son. Yeah, my process, it feels like there is like a lot of steps in it, and it takes quite a bit of time. So normally I start off with like a very, very generalized sort of like gesture sketch. The digital collage comes from either photographs I'll personally take or things I'll find on the internet. And then from there I print it off at scale, like the exact scale I want to print and carve that at. Transfer that onto the linoleum block that's cut down to that exact scale as well, so that is fully at like the 18 by 24, like what our poster is going to be. And then from there it's just the sitting and the kind of process of carving, which usually takes quite some time. And then I come in here and I use the presses that are just behind me, and then I'll pull that first relief proof. Once that's dry, I'll scan that in and then do a sort of photo merge in Photoshop, transfer that into Illustrator for a live trace, and then come back to Photoshop and do all my like brush work and tools and do all like the color layering and stuff like that. I think what I'm gonna do for the poster, like when we go layer-wise, is like start off with this like super intense, very bright yellow. That'll get like dulled down a little bit in the shadow areas and stuff. Like this layer is just meant to only purposefully be like for shadows to give stuff some depth. Then red will go next with this sort of background sort of tone that like makes it not as just flat in there. And then the last color will be that blue that kind of transforms like all that yellow into a green. I think by the end of this week I'll be done, and I can send the images to Jess to get them ready for printing.
I'm Natasha Wheeler, and I'm working with Yellow Springs Brewery. I wanted to work with the Yellow Springs Brewery because I grew up in a neighboring city, so I was really familiar with the Yellow Springs area. And it was just a place we'd visit, you know, with my family. As I got older, it was just like the place we'd drive to, you know, hang out for an afternoon at the shops and things like that. Lots of natural trails and hiking, and it's just one of the more unique spots in Ohio. When I was paired with Yellow Springs Brewery, they already knew they wanted to have a poster for a beer. And the beer is Creative Space, one of their, I think, any IPAs. Kind of had a few ideas about how we might represent Yellow Springs. My process for creating the print, I usually like to start with just a messy, sketchy thumbnail to try and get out the idea and how I kind of want the eye to move throughout the piece. And then once I kind of establish that flow, I like to bring the sketch to the iPad. I wanted kind of a loose freehand approach to it. So with the iPad, I could really get in there and just touch up all those details. And then once I kind of have that really nice refined sketch, I'll bring it to the computer and I'll use a program like Adobe Illustrator to actually separate out the colors into layers and really refine anything that didn't translate well. One of the ideas was representing this idea of a free spirit. So I wanted to use kind of like flowing lines, because you think beer, it flows, ideas flow, creativity flows, to then help tie all these different scenes together. A lot of outdoor elements because the brewery itself is kind of a hub for outdoor enthusiasts. Hiking obviously is a big one. Cycling, the brewery itself is positioned right on a bike path. Got some rappelling hidden in there. There's skateboarding, kayaking, there's a river, got somebody bird watching, butterflies, flowers, just more natural elements that you might see there. I'd kind of say Jess is like a master printer. I'm always really pleased and surprised when I see like the actual print. It's really cool. There's just something about that ink on paper and like the matte quality to it all when you've been looking at it through like an illuminated computer screen. It's just so cool to see those colors and it come together.
What I see from people who come to the event and buy the posters is kind of just general excitement. I think it speaks to people's relationship with the breweries themselves and the scene.
This is a big beer city, you know, there's over 60 breweries in this city, so it's an important thing to people.
People love beer and people love art, and so it's nice when they come together like that.
I think it makes artwork kind of approachable, you know, it's very affordable.
To be able to put a poster from a local business by a local artist on your wall is something that's pretty unique.
A lot of the artists that have done this have gone on to be kind of mainstays at that brewery, designing cans, t-shirts.
Being able to participate in Prints and Pints has like really opened up my like sort of circle of artists and designers and things to work with. And then I think being able to bring in those different types of artists within that community and see how everyone's kind of taking on these designs a little differently also broadens that horizon to like what poster printing is or what sort of graphic work and imagery kind of really can be through different sort of lenses.
If you're into the local craft beer scene in Columbus, I definitely think it's an event worth checking out.
Again, just like uniquely positive and good vibes abound.
It's the most relaxed sort of event art exhibition I've like been to in quite some time.
I'm looking for 5 more years.